Welcome back, my darling Doom Dwellers, to Creepin' It Real with Sindee Nyte, and my co-host this episode, William Patrick O'Toole Miller,
That's me.
where the veil is thin, the tea is cold, and the dead are sometimes better dressed than the living.
And tonight, we're diving 6 feet deep into something everyone tries not to think about.
Funerals.
Ooh. Yes, the business of death. Ooh. The industry of goodbye. See ya. The place where grief meets invoices.
Oh, we're talking old practices,
Oh, okay.
modern makeovers, questionable tools, and the dark truths funeral homes don't exactly advertise on billboards.
Nope. This episode is informative, occasionally unsettling, and just campy enough to keep the spirits entertained.
So light a black candle, fluff your morning veil, and let's dig in.
Sindee sips ink from a crystal cup. Topics float up in a swirling puff. Tonight a pirate, tomorrow a priest. She toasts each topic like a charming beast. One co-host swears the moon's alive, the other claims they did not survive. Welcome to Creepin' It Real. Sindee Nyte, the Baroness. Curious questions answered, pulling all the threads of your strange routine. Step through the doorway where nothing's ever quite what it seems. Raise your glass to the unusual themes. Welcome to Creepin' It Real.
Before funeral homes existed, death was a family affair.
Yeah, most people died at home, stayed at home, and were buried from home.
Imagine hosting a wake in your living room while Aunt Mildred is still on the fainting couch,
Ugh, Aunt Mildred was always lazy.
right? So
Yeah.
dramatic.
I know, rude. In the 1800s, families washed and dressed the body themselves. No pros, no sterile prep rooms.
Just grief, determination, and a lot of strong stomachs.
And maybe gloves.
Yes,
Lots of gloves.
I would hope so.
I think so. But Victorians took mourning very seriously.
Oh, they were the goths of their time. Mourning clothes required, sometimes for years. Postmortem photography, hair jewelry made from the deceased, and elaborate home wakes.
Victorians said, I miss you so much. I made you into a brooch.
Nice.
Yeah, I think so. Nothing says eternal love like wearable human remains, like a lot of people do now. They have little necklaces with a little bit of grandma in it, or a little bit of their favorite pet.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I totally agree with it. It went away for such a long time, and it's coming back.
Mhm.
So yes,
Mhm.
the till death do us part starter pack. Modern embalming really took off during the Civil War because families wanted fallen soldiers shipped home looking less like they'd been through war.
Good luck.
Exactly. So early embalming was experimental. Traveling embalmers followed battlefields and chemicals were questionable. So what is embalming?
Let's gently pull back the velvet curtain. Embalming is the process of temporarily preserving a body using chemicals, usually formaldehyde.
Translation. We slow down nature's very determined plan. Embalming is mostly for the living, not the dead. Despite the mystique, embalming does not preserve a body forever. It temporarily slows decomposition so a viewing can happen without Aunt Carol fainting into the potato salad.
It's going to lay there by Aunt Mildred.
Right?
Your reality check. Preservation is short term, days to weeks. It's primarily cosmetic and sanitary. The body will still eventually decompose. It's less eternal preservation and more weekend at Bernie's, but professional. Right?
Right? Formaldehyde is not exactly spa water. Most embalming fluids contain formaldehyde and chemicals that preserve tissue, disinfects, and is classified as a carcinogen with long-term exposure. Fun fact nobody puts into the pamphlet: embalmers use ventilation systems and protective gear for a reason.
No shit.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, Captain Obvious. If it requires gloves, goggles, and a respirator, it's not moisturizing. During arterial embalming, blood is drained from the circulatory system. Preservative fluid is pumped into internal organs and are treated separately via cavity embalming. This is why the skin tone can be adjusted afterward. The circulatory system becomes essentially a plumbing project. Now, I do know that sometimes the chemicals that they use, will change the skin tone, and they use makeup to fix it. But I've been to a funeral where they didn't fix it, and his skin tone was so yellow, he looked jaundiced, and it was terrible.
I mean, that would make sense, though, when your body's sitting there kind of rotting from the inside.
Yep, it didn't look good. And he had a spider under his mustache.
Ew.
Oh yeah, it was rough. I got the hell out of Dodge.
I bet.
Yep.
Well, that's literally less sleeping peacefully and more professionally refurbished. Any of you didn't know, after death, eyelids can relax, open.
Oh.
Embalmers often use eye caps, small plastic discs with tiny ridges placed under the eyelids to maintain natural shape, prevent sunken appearance, and to keep eyelids closed for viewing.
Yes, they look like tiny contact lenses from the underworld. And for more information, the mouth also usually needs help staying closed. Natural jaw muscles relax after death. Common methods include needle injector, small barbed tacks in the upper and lower jaw, muscular sutures, thread, it's like stitches. Stitches. Yeah, not the little thing from Disney.
Right.
It's done to create a peaceful expression, but it is definitely more mechanical than most people realize. That serene smile sometimes involves hardware.
Another aspect, and what most families see at viewings, often involves special mortuary cosmetics, some airbrushing, wax restoration for injuries or trauma, hairstyling, and dressing. In many cases, the peaceful appearance is carefully reconstructed artistry. Funeral makeup artists are the unsung special effects crew of the afterlife.
What you may not know is that the U.S. embalming is rarely required by law. It's usually needed only when there will be a long-distance transport without refrigeration, or certain delayed public viewings. Otherwise, the refrigeration is often sufficient. People don't always know it's frequently presented as standard practice, but families usually have options.
And this is good to know.
Uh-huh.
It's largely an American cultural thing. Routine embalming for viewings is much more common in the United States and Canada than in many parts of the world. The open casket norm is more cultural tradition than universal necessity. Embalming does not stop decomposition forever. Let's say it louder for the people in the back of the mausoleum.
Embalming slows. It does not stop. Decomposition eventually. Tissues break down. Chemicals dissipate. Nature clocks back in. Cha-ching. Time always wins. Always.
We're going to discuss the tools of the trade. Let us start with the trocar, which is used to remove internal gases and
You mean this
fluids.
thing?
Right, let's both pick it up.
No, hey, watch it,
Okay.
lady.
Hey,
I don't need any gas removed right now.
you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
All right.
Yeah, no, that's for your husband.
It's kind of nice. It's very tempting.
Looks like you could do a lot of damn things with that fucking
Mhm.
thing. It's like a very aggressive turkey baster for eternity. Damn, that motherfucker's heavy too.
Really, William?
Yeah, it is. Oh, I said what I said.
What it actually is a long, hollow metal spike connected
Hello.
to suction.
Oh, what it actually does, punctures the abdomen and chest cavity, a little higher, removes gases and fluids, injects cavity fluid afterward.
The part they whisper about. It's guided largely by anatomical landmarks and experience, not direct vision. Yes, it makes sounds, not spooky ones, just very biological ones. It's basically the embalming room's version of we're going in blind. Good luck.
If you've ever wondered what the world's most aggressive turkey baster looks like, congratulations. Next tool, the embalming machine.
Nope, we
What?
don't have one of those. That's a big guy.
What the fuck, bro? What it is, a machine that pushes embalming fluid through the arterial system. What they don't emphasize is pressure matters. Too high and you can blow up grandma.
That's disturbing.
No kidding. Too low, yeah, that'll make Aunt Mildred stay on the fainting couch.
Exactly.
Too low, oh, it might knock her off. Anyhow, too low and distribution is poor. It's less like preservation magic and more like very careful plumbing.
Because we don't want to burst those pipes.
Uh-uh.
The reality is that modern machines are precise, but older embalmers will tell you stories about leaks where leaks should never be,
Ew.
sudden purging.
Oh, that's noisy.
Exactly. And the occasional we need more towels moment. It's the only spa treatment where circulation is improved whether the client asks for it or not.
Next in the professional toolkit, arterial tubes.
Ah, yes, the unsung little straws of the afterlife.
Arterial tubes are inserted into an artery to deliver embalming fluid through the vascular systems.
Think of it as very exclusive plumbing, invitation only,
Mhm.
no plus one.
They come in different sizes depending on the vessel and the case.
Because in death care, one size absolutely does not fit all.
The embalming machine gently pumps preservative through the arteries while blood is displaced through a vein.
It's likely a very formal, very polite chemical swap meet.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
The goal is temporary preservation and more natural appearance for viewing.
Arterial tubes, because sometimes eternity needs a little circulation assistance.
Oh, you're impossible.
No, but and yet, still less complicated than Victorian mourning rules.
As mentioned before, a small but important tool is something called eye caps.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Tiny, creepy, surprisingly polite little invention.
Neat. Eye caps are placed under the eyelids. No shit. To help keep the eyes closed and maintain a natural appearance.
Because, darling, nothing startles mourners quite like unexpected eye contact.
Oh man, if grandma opened an eye while she's laying there, that would freak the living hell out of people.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm running.
Oh, I'm gone. Feet are like wings.
Right, right.
They're usually small, curved plastic discs with a textured surface that gently holds the eyelid in place.
Think of them as the world's most uncomfortable contact lenses.
I bet they are.
I bet. Because you really don't want them if you're still alive.
Nope. They also help prevent the sunken look that can happen after death.
We love a little structural support. Even in the afterlife, we're fighting gravity.
It's all about creating a peaceful, natural presentation for the viewing.
Peaceful, serene, and most importantly,
not staring directly into your soul.
Now we come to a tool that sounds a little intimidating but serves an important purpose. The needle injector. Jaw closure.
Oh, yeah. The dental work nobody needed.
After death, the jaw naturally relaxes and may fall open. The needle injector helps the embalmer gently secure the mouth in a closed, natural position.
Because eternal rest should never look like you just heard shocking gossip.
The device places small anchor points in the upper and lower jaw, then uses wire to bring the mouth together.
It's basically contouring, but structural.
The goal is a peaceful, relaxed expression for viewing.
A gentle smile, a serene farewell, a look that says, I have departed, but I am no longer answering emails.
Honestly, respect.
Well, kinda, but you're sewing the mouth shut. Why would you answer an email? You don't. It's not like talking on the phone.
You never know.
Whatever. By the early 1900s, funeral homes became big business.
Because grief is powerful and very billable. Did you know the average modern funeral costs $7,000 to $12,000 typically?
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's nuts. Yeah, screw that. With funeral homes trying to upsell caskets and services, more money.
The FTC funeral rule, so consumers have rights, is a U.S. federal regulation that requires funeral homes to give consumers clear, itemized price information and the right to choose only services and products they want, preventing deceptive or high-pressure sale.
The FTC rule was put into place to make sure the funeral homes were not using the emotional vulnerability of grieving families.
You said you loved her, but did you love her enough for the mahogany upgrade?
No, pine box, let's go. Not the deluxe grief package. One of the most persistent fears of Victorians, oh, those Victorians,
I know it.
was being buried alive.
Honestly, new fear unlocked for the Victorians, and frankly, relatable.
No kidding. Who the hell wants to worry about that?
No.
In the 18th and 19th centuries, both of them, this fear was led to the invention of so-called safety coffins.
Yes, coffins with emergency features.
Some designs included a string tied to a deceased hand that ran up through the coffin to a bell above ground.
So if someone woke up underground, ring ring, cemetery concierge.
Yeah. Unless, unless it's the ex-wife and he's
Right.
alive. Dang it. Clip. Can't hear
Yep.
him now.
Exactly.
Fills in a little tiny hole with dirt. Others had flags, breathing tubes, or even small little viewing windows.
Creepy.
Yeah, no kidding.
Imagine the marketing meeting. Gentlemen, what if the customer is only mostly dead?
It's almost right there.
Right. Not quite.
Yep. Now here's where things get interesting. Many people believe the phrase dead ringer came from those coffin bells.
Spooky, but not quite accurate.
Nah. Most historians say dead ringer actually comes from horse racing, slang in the late 1800s. A ringer was a horse secretly substituted for another, an exact duplicate.
How do you do that? Horses can't be exactly duplicate.
No similar colors, dye the hair. Why not?
I
Give it a
guess.
shot.
So the phrase really means an exact match.
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The burial bell story is popular, but likely folklore.
Victorians giving us dramatic misinformation. I am shocked.
I know, right?
Shocked and mildly impressed.
Yeah, not bad.
Mm-mm. Now, here's a darker chapter in funeral history. Grave robbing.
Also known as the original midnight shopping spree, but with bigger bags.
I'm free.
Mm-hmm.
In the 17 and 1800s, medical schools desperately needed human bodies for anatomy study, but there weren't enough legally available.
So some very morally flexible individuals started digging.
Nice.
Capitalism.
Right.
Mhm.
These body snatchers, often called resurrectionists, would secretly exhume freshly buried bodies and sell them to medical institutions.
Nothing says academic advancement like a shovel and poor life choices.
The practice became so widespread that families used heavy coffins, iron grave cages called mort safes, and night watches to protect graves.
Imagine needing home security for the cemetery.
Weird,
Yeah, a
but
little bit.
interesting.
Mhm.
Let's move on to mourning, showing sadness about a person's death.
Victorian mourning wasn't just emotional. It was practically a full-time lifestyle.
Oh, yes, grief, but make it highly regulated.
There were actually formal stages of mourning, especially for widows.
We're talking full mourning, second mourning, and half mourning.
What, no quarter mourning?
Apparently not. So, like, grief came with outfit changes.
Mhm. Full mourning could last a year or more and require strict black clothing and limited social activity.
You was gonna say anxiety,
Well,
didn't
pretty
weren't
much
you?
because you're staying inside, getting away from people. You don't,
Right.
hide in the shadows. Pretty much.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So imagine being sad on a schedule.
Mm.
Sorry, I can't attend brunch. I'm only in phase 2 of
Right.
despair.
Give me another month and I'll be there.
Right.
Yeah.
Families would also often hang black crepe fabric on the front door to signal a death in the home.
Victorian subtweeting, but architectural.
It was both a public notice and a sign of respect.
Today we post online. Back then, dramatic home decor.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. And in some cultures, past and present, families hired professional mourners.
Yes.
Why not?
People literally paid to have extra crying at the funeral.
Mm-hmm. Again, capitalism.
Uh-huh.
The idea was to properly honor the deceased and visibly express grief.
Honestly, if I don't have at least one person dramatically fainting at my funeral, I will be mildly offended.
I'll do what I can.
All right.
Ooh, I'll see if I
Sounds
can bring
good.
in people of various sizes so they fall like dominoes.
Right.
Today,
Today.
many people are choosing eco-friendly burials.
Because even in death, we're trying to reduce our carbon footprint. Thankfully, no embalming is done. Biodegradable caskets, natural burial grounds, and cremations are on the rise.
Cremation is now more common than burial in the US. Has a lower cost and has more flexibility. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But funeral practices keep evolving, and some modern options sound like science fiction.
Oh boy, the afterlife has had a serious upgrade.
Ooh. Alkaline hydrolysis, sometimes called water cremation, uses water, heat, and alkaline chemicals to accelerate natural decomp.
It's often promoted as a more eco-friendly alternative to traditional flame cremation.
It generally produces fewer emissions and uses less energy. Well, yeah, if you're soaking in water.
Right. Nature's return policy, but expedited.
Another option is memorial diamonds.
Ooh, I want one.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yes. Turning cremated remains into actual gemstones.
Oh, Grandma's gotten lost weight and she's thinner and shiny.
Yes.
Carbon from the remains is extracted and compressed into a lab-grown diamond.
Because nothing says eternal love like tasteful geological transformation.
And for those who want a truly out-of-this-world send-off, space burials!
Interesting. A small portion of cremated remains is launched into space aboard a rocket.
That's got to be expensive.
Probably.
Some orbit Earth, some travel deeper into space.
Finally, an escape plan from group chats.
Right?
Okay, my ghouls and gentle creeps, we are now going to tiptoe into uncomfortable territory.
Can I just soft shoe? Tiptoeing is a little hard.
Well, that's a you problem.
Oh my gosh. Rude.
You're rude.
Whatever. Yes, because while most funeral professionals are respectful, skilled, and deeply ethical,
History has given us a few absolutely unhinged exceptions.
important note before we proceed, these are documented cases and historical practices, not the norm, and not representative of modern licensed professionals.
Ex-
Relax, people.
Relax. Exactly.
Mhm.
Most morticians are lovely, but tonight we're talking about the ones who made everyone else update the rule book. Let's start with something that makes every ethical embalmer clutch their pocketbook:
It's-
unauthorized souvenirs.
It is such an old phrase. Clutch your pocketbook.
It is. And
Yeah.
you know what? I'm an old soul.
Ah. Historically, there have been rare cases where unethical workers remove personal effects, jewelry, teeth, even medical implants, and penises without permission.
Nothing
Oh,
says career ending decision like treating the prep room like a gift shop.
yeah. How many wieners in a jar does somebody really need?
You never know,
Right?
I guess.
hmm How many does your husband have?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. We don't open that door.
Nope.
Mm-mm. Modern funeral homes have strict chain of custody procedures specifically because of abuses that happened decades ago.
Translation: somebody, somewhere, absolutely ruined it for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Now let's time travel to the wild west of embalming
Yeah.
when regulations were more of a gentle suggestion.
There. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, some practitioners experimented with homemade preservation formulas.
Ah, yes. The what if we just pour chemicals in and see what happens era.
Right? Some used excessive arsenic, mercury compounds, or highly concentrated formaldehyde mixtures. Oh, sounds really awful.
It does,
Yes.
which occasionally resulted in, shall we say, dramatic cosmetic outcomes.
Yeah. What happened to Grandma's face?
Exactly.
Swelling, discoloration, and tissue damage were not uncommon before modern standards.
Victorian families. Why does Uncle Harold look inflated?
Gained weight before he died.
Right? Early embalmer. Science. Restorative art is one of the most skilled and most misunderstood parts of mortuary work.
Absolutely. When done properly, it's compassionate and meticulous.
But historically, some folks got a little crafty.
A little bit.
A little bit.
There are documented cases from the early 20th century of poorly trained practitioners using excessive wax, heavy cosmetics, or improper reconstruction techniques.
You know the look. When someone says, they look so peaceful, but their eye twitches.
It kind of flaps up. I'll be like one of those old roll down window shades, and
Right?
that would be something. Modern training and licensing standards have dramatically reduced these problems.
Because nothing says file a complaint like grandma looking like a department store mannequin from 1973. And then we have the cases that cross from unprofessional into criminal.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Very rare, but historically documented. There have been morticians charged with abuse of remains or gross misconduct.
Ew,
I know, right?
I know. These cases are exactly why the industry now has licensing boards, inspections, tracking requirements, and about 17 layers of don't you dare.
Well, maybe they need 18.
I don't know.
Most funeral professionals strongly support these safeguards.
Because nothing makes a good embalmer angrier than someone disrespecting the dead. We cannot leave without addressing the Victorian nightmare fuel.
Victorians are something else.
They are.
They're worried about everything. Oh, yeah. Premature burial fears. Well, no
Yes.
shit.
In the 18th and 19th centuries, medical diagnostics were, let's say, less precise.
Right. This led to widespread public fear of being buried alive, though verified cases were extremely rare.
Correct. And as we mentioned before, came the safety coffins, bells, flags, and the phrase dead ringer.
Right? Modern death determination standards make this scenario extraordinarily unlikely today.
Thank goodness.
Right?
So if you hear a bell in a cemetery now, it's probably wind or you picked the wrong horror movie night.
It's important to emphasize the overwhelming majority of morticians are compassionate professionals.
Yes. The horror stories stand out precisely because they are outside the norm.
Today's funeral industry is highly regulated compared to a century ago.
But as history shows, give humans a job, some chemicals, and minimal supervision.
They'll make mess. And eventually, someone writes a new rule.
Important disclaimer before we dive into this next section of formaldehyde flavored chaos. These cases are rare, extreme, and very much not the norm.
Modern funeral professionals operate under strict ethical and legal standards. The stories we're covering are cautionary tales that led to many, not all of them, but most of them, of today's safeguards.
But oh, what cautionary tales they are. Let's start with one that shook the entire death care industry.
Oof. In 2002, authorities discovered the Tri-State Crematory in Georgia had failed to cremate hundreds of bodies entrusted into their care.
Awful. And by failed, we mean they were just not doing the assignment.
No, stacked them like cordwood in the closet.
Exactly.
Instead of performing cremations, the operator stored remains improperly across the property.
And nothing says career ending decision like ignoring the one job in your title.
The case led to criminal convictions, massive regulatory reform in several states, and tighter tracking requirements for crematories.
Because families tend to notice when closure does not arrive. Next, we enter the deeply uncomfortable world of body donation misuse.
In the early 2000s, a former manager of the UCLA Willed Body Program was convicted of selling donated human remains for profit without proper authorization.
Always about the money.
Right. Capitalism. Kind of.
Kind of. Let me translate that into plain English. Families donated loved ones for science, and someone treated it like a clearance sale.
I'm going to go back to capitalism. The case exposed serious gaps in oversight of anatomical donation programs at the time.
Which is why modern body donation programs now come with paperwork thick enough to stop a vampire at dawn. Ah, yes, and the original mortuary scandal. Professional grave robbers.
In the 1800s, medical schools faced severe cadaver shortages for anatomy study.
Enter the resurrection men.
Mm-mm.
Not nearly as holy as the name suggests.
These individuals illegally exhumed bodies and sold them to medical institutions.
Nothing says educational supply chain issue like midnight shovel work.
Public outrage over these practices led to anatomy acts in multiple countries, which legalized regulated body donation.
In other words, society said, maybe let's not source medical specimens like raccoons in a graveyard. So the next one is disturbing in a quieter, more bureaucratic way.
Investigations in the UK revealed serious mishandling and poor oversight in some infant cremation cases during the 20th century.
What's with these kids?
I know, right?
Leave the kids alone.
Nope, can't happen.
Apparently. So a devastating failure of procedure that caused real harm to families.
The fallout prompted major reforms in cremation documentation, training, and infant cremation protocols. Here is a more recent case, sure to make your blood run cold.
Ooh.
Yeah.
In 2023, a Harvard morgue manager hawked his wares from inside the morgue itself, using his position at the morgue to allow prospective customers to shop among the cadavers that were donated for medical research and education.
Well, he wasn't going to the farmer's market with him.
Apparently. And were able to select the body parts they wished to purchase. That's putting the parts in department store. Proof that sometimes the scariest thing in the room is paperwork done badly.
I feel like you like put a post-it note. I want that shoulder.
Right.
I like that finger.
That knee.
Yep.
Now, here's a pattern rather than one single villain.
Across decades, many of the worst mortuary scandals share a common theme: lack of licensing, oversight, or inspection.
Translation: when nobody checks the prep room, chaos occasionally RSVPs.
This is precisely why modern funeral service is heavily regulated in most jurisdictions.
Because the industry learned sometimes the hard way that dignity requires supervision.
It bears repeating: the overwhelming majority of funeral professionals are ethical and compassionate.
These cases stand out because they are rare, and because when things go wrong in death care, they go wrong in a way that keeps people up at night. So while history has its skeletons,
The modern profession works very hard to keep them respectfully where they belong. Death care has evolved dramatically from family parlors to full-scale industry.
but at its heart, funerals are still about one thing.
Saying goodbye.
And maybe remembering the strange, beautiful, and sometimes uncomfortable ways humans handle loss. So, whether you want a Gothic cathedral send off,
Or to be composted under a nice oak tree. Doesn't sound that
just
bad.
remember,
Yeah.
plan ahead,
Because surprises are fun.
but not when you're the guest of honor.
Thank you for watching. That concludes today's episode of Creepin' It Real. If you enjoyed the madness, hit that like button. If you didn't, hit it anyway. Subscribe for more questionable life choices and mildly concerning or controversial topics. Think you might want to know when a new episode airs? Click the notification button because you know you want to. Do it. Do it. Come
No.
on. Right?
Until next time, sleep well. And if something goes bump in the dark, don't panic. Creep it real.
Real. Oh,